Gun control groups and their politicians want to restrict our Second Amendment speech. Fortunately, the First Amendment protects our Second Amendment advocacy. It's outrageous that there's not more public outcry about the New York State government's attempt to destroy a 150-plus-year-old civil rights association. Yes, the NRA. Destroy is not hyperbole. While he was governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo made his intentions clear when he tweeted on August 3rd of 2018, "The regulations New York put in place are working. We're forcing the NRA into financial jeopardy. We won't stop until we shut them down." What preceded that vow was a campaign meant to silence the NRA forever. At the behest of Governor Cuomo, the then superintendent of the New York State Department of Financial Services, Maria Vullo, took aim at the NRA and agreed to use the agency's regulatory power to financially blacklist the NRA, to thereby coerce banks and insurers to cut ties with the NRA in order to suppress the association's pro-Second Amendment speech. The NRA argues that Vullo's actions were meant to silence the NRA by using guidance letters and other measures to cause financial institutions to drop the NRA. She targeted the NRA when she wrote that the DFS urges all insurance companies and banks doing business in New York to join the companies that have already discontinued their arrangements with the NRA. A press release also said DFS would urge the companies it regulates to review any relationships that may have to do with the National Rifle Association for reputational risk. The NRA filed a lawsuit in 2018 to defend its members and the freedoms in which they believe. In a commentary titled "New York State Can't Be Allowed to Stifle the NRA's Political Speech," the ACLU's legal director, David Cole, wrote, "If the NRA's charges are true, the state's action would clearly violate the First Amendment policies. And public officials are, of course, free to criticize groups with which they disagree, but they cannot use their regulatory authority to penalize advocacy groups by threatening companies that do business with those groups." And here the state has admitted, in its own words, that it focused on the NRA and other groups not because of any illegal conduct, but because they engage in gun promotion. In other words, because they advocate a lawful activity. The NRA's First Amendment claims withstood multiple motions to dismiss. But in 2022, after Vullo appealed the trial court's ruling, the Second Court struck down the NRA's claims. The court ruled that in an era of enhanced corporate social responsibility, it was reasonable for New York and their financial regulator to warn banks and insurance companies against servicing pro-gun groups. What a load of garbage.